Hi, welcome to my video on an extra problem number 2 pertaining to the hyperbolas. We have an equation here and we want to graph this equation. It's 4x squared minus 9y squared plus 24x plus 90y minus 225 equals 0. And we're going to graph using the center, asymptotes, vertices, and co-vertices or conjugate vertices. But the conjugate vertices are not necessary to graph, we just need the vertices, but I put this in. Notice this is an x squared, y squared, and one of them is plus and one of them is minus. So let's take the equation, and it's in general form, so we want to change it. In order to graph it, we have to change it to the transformational form. So let's group the x's and group the y's. Oh, y is at minus 9. And we move the negative 225 to the right side to make it a positive 225. Now we'll factor out the 4 to make the x squared a 1 coefficient. So 4 into 24 goes 6. And we'll factor out the negative 9 to make the y squared coefficient 1. And negative 9 into 90 is a negative 10. So that's partly done. Now we'll complete the square. Half of 6 is 3 squared is 9. So 4 times 9, balance it out, is 36. Half of negative 10 is a negative 5 squared is 25. So to balance it out, negative 9 times 25 is a negative 225. So now we'll factor. This trinomial is the perfect square trinomial, so it's an x. Half of plus 6 is a plus 3, and we squared. And negative 9. Factor this perfect square trinomial as a y. Half of negative 10 is a negative 5 squared. The 225's cancel out, so we get 36. Now we want a transformational form, so we divide all parts of the equation by 36. So we get an x plus 3 squared. 4 into 36 goes 9. Y minus 5. 9 into 36 goes 4. 36 divided by 36 is 1. So we have the transformational form. So the center, again, this is a hyperbola, and the center is the opposite of 3 is negative 3. Opposite of minus 5 is a 5. And as a result, we have a squared. A is with the x, a squared is 9. So a is plus minus 3. B is with the y, so b squared is 4. So b is plus minus 2. And that helps us to get our asymptotes. Our asymptotes is y minus k equals plus or minus b over a x minus h. So the center, so what I have here is what goes here. So the center, that's a 5, so that's a y minus 5. And x is minus 3, so that's an x plus 3. B is 2. A is 3. So we have the asymptotes, and there's 2 of them. So the 2 of them are y minus 5 is 2 over 3 x plus 3. And we have y minus 5 negative 2/3 x plus 3. So that's the positive slope, that's the negative slope. And if you work the two of these out, you can graph them like that. But if you work 2/3 times x, 2/3 times 3 is plus 2. So y equals 2/3 x plus 2 plus 5. So we have, So we can leave it in the point slope form or leave it in the slope by intercept form. So let's work this one out. Negative 2/3 times x. Negative 2/3 times 3 is negative 2. So y negative 2/3 x minus 2 plus 5. So y is negative 2/3 x plus 3. So I just worked those two asymptotes out to make it slope by intercept form, because I knew that the 3 would cancel here and it would end up to be nice numbers in terms of integers for the intercepts. And now let's work out the vertices. So the vertices are, we have a negative 3. So notice we have the x squared is positive, the y is negative. So the vertices are negative 3. And the a is added because this is horizontal, so it's a plus or minus 3, 5. So vertice 1 is negative 3 plus 3 is 0, 5. Vertice 2 is negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6, 5. Now, the co-vertices, I'm going to call it COV. The co-vertices, we got a negative 3, 5. So the vertices are on the axis, the transverse axis. And I didn't mention that. So right now, let's go down here or up here and say the transverse axis is, the x is positive, so it's horizontal. So that's why it's a is added to the x. And the conjugate axis is the vertical. So these vertices, even though they're not a part of the graph, we just put it in. The conjugate axis is vertical, so that means the b is added to the y value, so it's a 5 plus or minus the 2. So we got co-vertice 1 is negative 3, so 5 plus 2 is 7, and co-vertice 2 is a negative 3, 5 minus 2 is 3. So we have all the information. Now let's graph it. So the center is negative 3, x is negative 3, y is 5, center is here. Now we can plot the asymptotes by right here, or we can use these. So we use the center and go up 2, right 3, take the center, go up 2, right 3, we'll hit right here. If we go up 2, left 3, then we'll hit at the 6, which is right here. And if we use the other asymptote, we go the other slope, that is, we go down 2, 1, 2, right 3, which is right there. Or we go down 2, left 3, which is at the negative 6. So that forms the 4 corners. There's the rectangle. So the asymptotes go through the corners, like that. And this asymptote goes through this one. There's the center. Now, the vertices are on the transverse axis, which is the x. So the vertices are 0, 5. So this is right here. There's vertex 1. So that means it swings this way. And the other vertex is a negative 6, 5. X is negative 6, 5, which is right here. So this is V2. So it's, and the co-vertex are, I'll put them in, but it's the vertices that they pass through and they taper towards the asymptotes. So I got an x is negative 3, 7, which is right here. So this is co-vertex 1 right here. And this is negative 3, x is negative 3, 3. This is co-vertex 2, which is right here. There. So negative 3, 7 is right there. Negative 3, 3 is right there. So there's the graph that represents this general form. And again, I did vertices. And also notice that from here to here, notice that A is 3. So the length of this transverse axis is double to 3. So it's 3 here and 3 here. So that's a 6. And the length of the converse axis is, that's a 2, and that's a 2. So it's 4 because it's double the A and double the B. So that's just an extra question that I wanted to do, stressing the general form, change it to transformational form and graphing using the vertices, conjugate axes, transverse axes, etc., etc. And if you like my video, click on the like button. If you're not a subscriber, click on the subscribe button. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that I have on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you some. Bye-bye.